Okay, Brett, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up. B17. The leader has just done a 56.94.
I better send a message to Tristan and Ruben to tell them the server's live. See if they're joining us.
Yeah. Is Aiden supposed to be racing?
Nah, he's broadcasting, mate.
Ah, that's right, I forgot.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Box in 1770 feet.
Jesus, this is a long pit lane.
Box in 5, 4, 3, 2.
I wonder if when I was
Box
testing
now.
the other day, I didn't notice, but iRacing had the wrong setup in there or something.
It's highly likely because I think Raymond only just loaded this one up this afternoon.
Yeah, because because this is just shockingly slow off the pace I was setting the other day. I'm about, well, yeah, it gets to 298 really quick, but not tonight. So there's definitely something different about the setup.
Sorry, mate, not sure what happened there.
I was just trying to go middle one. I think it just slightly come down a little bit, and we just nothing major.
Yeah, all good, mate.
It's in practice, so it doesn't hurt anyone. It was trying to line me up. No, with you, I was just trying to bump drive you.
Jesus, I went from position 1 to down to 21. How the bloody... That's got to be draft assisted, a 56.9.
Exit's clear. Push. P21.
You know what? I think I'm still going to go and qualify at the back. I'll probably qualify at the back anyway.
I am really pissed off. Complete waste of time practicing for this friggin' series.
Second place.
Tristan.
The guy behind has just done a 58.81.
Sorry, mate.
Car outside. Clear outside.
The guy behind has just done a 58.75.
Hey gents.
Evening. Just as
On the
well
outside.
I invited you, Tristan.
Absolutely.
Clear on the outside.
What madness is this?
Car high, stay low.
Absolute crazy.
He's still there. Clear outside.
You can't set any offset or anything with these.
2.4 off the pace. That lap time was 59.37. The guy behind has just done a 58.52. That's the end of the session, P22. Track's clear. Push, push, push. We've got 2 laps to get the job done.
No.
And this is just a fixed setup.
Yep.
She dies going around the corners.
P22. That lap was at 105.43. New fastest lap for Davidson, 58.50. The track temperature is falling. It's now 46 Celsius.
Do you drop it down to 5th when you go around the corner?
Nope, I've been holding it flat, 6th gear.
The guy behind has just done a 122.55. That's the end of the session, P28.
So when I went around the corner, I changed to 5th, and I did a 59.
Yeah, well, I was doing 58s in the draft.
God, what are these guys doing? Oh yeah, 58s. Best of luck.
It's only 67 laps.
You know what happened last time.
Well, that's true too.
So you do have to come in for a fuel stop.
Hiya. I don't think we're going to need tyres at all. Oh, doesn't matter, there's no tyres anyway.
I'm just ringing up the insurance company, see if I can get a hire car.
Probably go faster than these things.
You're not wrong.
Well, definitely faster than what they were going today. They weren't going at all today in Sydney.
Sorry, mate, I'm trying to get my head into the game here because I'm very, very pissed off, and I'm trying to come down enough to actually concentrate on what I'm doing, that's all.
The track temp is 47 Celsius. The air temp is 30 Celsius. Follow car number 2004 in the inside column.
The Supercars, look forward to seeing how all these guys navigate their way around this 4.5 kilometre super speedway track. It will be Troy Davison and Sean Hart off the front row, but Paul, I guarantee, as I've said in the broadcast previously, and every round that we've broadcast...
How'd your trucks go today, Brett?
Yeah.
I'm quite sure it's not going to...
Would you circulate?
Car number 2004.
I think you're right there, and I really hope we see
How many finished?
5 wide moves tonight around
I don't know, to be honest, I can't remember.
It can be possible. I'm sure we'll see at least 3 wide, but yeah, see how many people actually push the boundaries tonight of the track limits.
Tail lights work, Steve?
I would suggest, Paul, that quite a few will push the boundaries.
What do you mean, yours?
I'm expecting to have
Yeah.
a little bit of in the Sim Esports Network trivia with the Super Speedway. Probably going to have a couple of cautions tonight. But good to see Andy Barber starting there in the 5th position tonight. He's going to like that position. He doesn't mind a super speedway.
And they give the brakes a touch, I'll tell you.
About luck.
Oh, yes, very nice.
Into the window,
Thank you.
nice and clean for that final green flag stop. Or in this case, even if we do have a green-white checker, it will not come down to tyres, ladies and gentlemen. They have none over the wall. It will come down
Best of luck,
fuel
gents.
strategy, fuel saving,
Yeah, mate,
who
good
you
luck.
want to work with, and how
Yeah, good luck,
you're going
guys.
to position your car.
Let's just try and keep it straight and keep you out of trouble, eh?
Here at the
Absolutely.
race.
Okay, mate, get ready.
Davidson and Sean Hart off.
Remember,
the front
Aiden's
row.
watching.
Raymond Jaeger with another solid qualifying position. He'll be there on the
Green,
second
green,
row.
green.
His teammate Greg Spencer as we make their way, or as they make their way.
It's already some dickhead trying to go 3 wide here.
Ready to come green. Some of the back
Still there.
runners will need to catch up very, very quickly.
He's still with you.
Look at how banked the iRacing Super
Hold your line.
is, ladies and gentlemen. How good are those pictures here?
He's still with you.
The Sim Esports Network. They come onto the main straight.
He's still with you.
Troy Davidson will be
Clear low.
the leader. The pace car is in. We're waiting for the green flag for round 5 of the Ray White Rule game to Australasian Supercar E-Series. Troy Davidson takes us.
Well done,
to
Brett.
green
Good start.
flag.
Jaeger is now leading.
As we make our way down the main straight, Sean Hart there. Watch for him to drop down and try and get in the
Car on the low side.
And down into turn number 1. Looks
Still
like
there.
He's looking a little bit. He stayed on the outside. Didn't want to
Still
drop
there.
down there, so they make their way through turns.
Still
number
there.
1 and 2
Clear
for
inside.
the first time. With 3 wide, a little bit through the mid
Car on the inside.
at the moment, but it's still status quo.
He's still there.
Everyone is playing nicely, but now we're nearly 4
Inside's
wide
clear.
down the back stretch, and this is exactly what we
Car on the high side.
at the first opportunity. They
Still
go
there.
4 wide.
They're
Ray
4 wide ahead of me. This is going to be a disaster.
Still there.
Lead the race down into 3 and 4.
He's
for
still
the
there.
first time tonight. As they do that,
He's still there.
That a big sweep around the outside.
Still there.
By Andy Barber. Does have
Still
Sean
there.
Hart there just inside him. Troy Davidson
Keep your line.
starting off the pole with the big tank slapper out of 3.
Keep
and
this
4,
line,
and they make
3
their way
wide.
Down the main straight, 1 more.
Keep your line.
To
Clear on the
take
outside.
The first lap, and the leader of the
Stay
first
high.
lap will be Raymond Jaeger. But have a look at that, Paul. Exactly
still there.
what we expected with 3 wide already, and it looks like
And
that is
still
the same.
there.
Well, have
He's
a
still
look
there.
As well as there was a little bit of a tangle.
He's still there.
Earlier on that.
All
last
rounds clear now.
But, look who's at the front here. Aiden, Raymond, Greg, and Justin, which are all lined
Carlo.
up. Cars for Pinnacle East.
Hart
There.
is leading the race.
All gonna be working together
Keep your line.
to,
You're clear down low.
hold off the Symbols tonight.
Yeah, they
Car
will
inside.
be.
B27.
Thrown a little bit of a curve.
Low side's clear.
Again, though, Paul,
There's car on the low side.
Do the old Pinnacle Esports racing team.
He's still with you.
Running a different livery to Justin.
Still there.
And
Clear inside.
So that's just to keep us on their toes. But they're going 3 wide here through the turns one more time. You can see Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber trying to match up there on the top line. So exactly as I expected, Darren McKenzie making his way forward in this one early on. So it'll be interesting to see what type of tactics these guys want to play. As we can see, it's definitely a 3-groove track here early on.
Go on the outside.
One. We'll see whether they can sustain.
You're in the middle,
that.
3 wide.
So it still is Raymond
Hold your line.
away over Greg Spencer and Sean
He's
Hart.
still with you.
I strongly suggest that that's going to change.
Clear high.
As Sean Hart's getting a nice
Car inside.
there by Todd Maxfield down the
Keep your line.
straight here.
B28.
Now there.
Still there.
Sitting there on
Car either side.
back on the
Inside's clear.
line. He does have Nigel Payton
Car high.
in behind him as well. So who's going to make
He's still
the
with
first
you.
mistake ball? They're 3 wide. They're running really
Car high,
well.
stay low.
3 laps into
So clear all round.
7.
Car on the high side.
Yeah.
Stay
You
low.
see Derek Jacobs there. He's having a good run. He's
Still
down
there.
in the
That's
city
bloody
position.
scary being
The
around.
Still there. Outside's clear.
Who's that one? Ash.
I would say not much.
Yeah, I'm right up his clacker, and next minute he's...
Didn't have the best
I'm right up his clacker.
this morning, as you see him now.
It's
Just
car
getting
high.
out to dry on the outside, even though he's got his teammates
Still there.
around him, being Darren McKenzie.
Clear on the outside.
It'll be good to see.
Full course yellow, watch
Derek
out.
Jacobs finally get a result here for the Ray White rule gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series. He has to be one of the most unlucky drivers in this series so far.
Safety car's out, pits are closed, pace car is out. Line up single file behind car number 806.
For, Derek Jacobs, but looks like that outside line, you've got Derek Jacobs, Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber.
Oh, there it is. There's the commentator's curse right there, Paul. Derek Jacobs into the wall. Who's going to collect him? And there we go. The first caution of the night, lap 4 off 67, and that is the commentator's curse if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Derek's bad luck or if it's us cursing him. But yeah, we might have to go to the simracermerch.com instant replay on that one, Aiden, and just have a look at that caution out first.
Safety car is out, pits are now open.
As good a time as any. Let's go back to that sim race.
Have we got a fast repair?
Replay and see
No.
what happened to Derek Jacobs
shit.
there. Looks like he just got tagged by, it might have been Nigel Payton there on the inside, and that just fired him straight.
How much
up
damage
to
you got,
the
Brett?
outside wall. Looks like Adam.
I've got a
caught in
4X,
that as well,
but I
and he's
don't
got
know,
a
mate.
little
I'm
bit of a
still doing
thanks for coming.
265.
Darren McKenzie caught in that. Andy Barber caught in that. Looks like that's a Castrol Edge car. Adam Malone caught in that. The Doritos, Dave Trevathan, John Quass, the list goes
The leader,
on.
Jaeger,
A lot of
is
drivers
pitting.
Caught in that one. So
Got 7 minutes of
there
optional.
is the big one here.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Pit lane speed limit is 105 kilometers per hour.
There is a AuZea E-Sports racing car.
Box in
there on the
1240 feet.
That might have been.
We'll need to stop again.
So a lot of drivers, unfortunately.
Box in,
for the first
5,
instance, there is a
4,
lot of casualties
3,
we see.
2, 1.
Your leader,
Box
Raymond
now.
Jaeger, say it's time to go and get some fuel here early on, as we are caution number 1 tonight.
4 minutes
But,
20 of optionals.
Paul, I'm going to put it all on you tonight. Actually,
I'm still
no, I
waiting
won't
to
do
find
that.
out. I'm
I'll
still
just-
being towed.
So we can do a little bit of Internet Sim Esports Network trivia.
Yeah, I saw
as we
someone tumbling.
always do. Unfortunately,
No, it
I
wasn't
don't
me.
have
Somebody
any
got me on
trivia
the
ready
side and
or
pushed me across to the
anything
apron.
about the
But,
iRacing Super Speedway, because the iRacing Super Speedway is not actually a track that is run in real life, I believe, Paul, is it?
Yeah, should have gone up instead of gone down.
No, it's
Well,
not.
I was down and I went up. Ah,
Racing
Jesus.
Speedway is a
I got a minute of required repairs and 14 and a half of optional.
by iRacing, I believe. So, in the 2021 season, iRacing.
And the lap's only, what,
track
57
is a
laps or something?
fictional
67. That's hardly worth it.
Basically, as a previous generation.
I've got to pit about 6 times to fix the damage. I'm out of this. Stuff it. Good luck, guys. I'll see you later.
Okay, catch up.
This refreshed version of the circuit brings its life to iRacing's entire fleet of diverse racing machines. So, what we might get the first question here.
Oh, you're going to fire me a question, mate. I was going to take the reins, but you've got it tonight. All in your court.
It could be a very...
Yeah, try to turn it sideways so I didn't hit the front.
That's harder for others, so the iRacing...
I don't want to blow my engine again.
Fair call.
All right, Brett, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
By having a look at that in the background, I would have to go with 39 degrees. I'm guessing, I'm just looking at that. I've got my little degree angle thing as we see Gary Wellman come into pit lane. I've got my little degree angle thing. I've got no idea what that's called, but I'm calling it a degree angle thing tonight. And I reckon it's 39 degrees.
Well, you're close.
Alright, well I'm obviously wrong, so we'll put it out to all the viewers here on the InterSim Esports Network, and of course, as always here for your InterSim Esports Network trivia, no Googling, that is cheating. So, Paul's question was...
Are you out circulating, Brett, or are you still in the pits?
Yeah, mate, I'm out circulating.
Well, that's good.
I'm staying on the lead lap, and next caution, hopefully if I avoid all the shit, I'll go and get some more done.
What your answer is. My guess was 39 degrees. Paul, you obviously got the answer. Hopefully I'm a little bit close. We'll see how we go. Hopefully I go better than what you've gone on the InterSim Esports Network trivia when the shoe's been on the other foot.
Yeah, well, like I said, you're close, but yeah, we'll have a look at this one.
We'll just
we'll
wait
let
and
everyone.
see.
Yeah, we'll let everyone else have a chance to comment on that.
Yeah, got another 3 minutes to do.
The degrees of banking is around the
required.
track here. And,
Of optional.
We'll see.
Damn.
So Andy Barber jumping in the broadcast there with 42 degrees. Rough night in the office there, Andy.
Green, 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 let's go.
I'll have to jump into the medical tent there and we can bring you up in the broadcast there and just get your thoughts on what happened with that last...
P14.
Car on the inside.
What's that?
Gear down low.
Do that, but somehow with Andy just be racing, I
Stay high.
have a wild opinion that Andy
Clear on the inside.
inside information.
Car on the
there
inside.
after just racing it, but
Low side's
42
clear.
degrees, a good guess. But we're going green again this time around. It is in the hands of Raymond Yeager and Greg Spencer off the second row. We've got someone jumping super early there on the outside. Justin Witcher, so it's Pinnacle Esports 3 way down the front straight as we're green.
Still there.
Once again here.
Outside's clear.
The Ray White Rural gained to Australasian Supercar
Yeah,
E
you're right,
Series.
Warren.
I thought
You've dropped
Sean
down,
Hart
mate.
was going to go up the inside there, down into turn number 1 and 2, but he thought better of it that time around. Watch out for Cade Donnelly there, third car back on the outside, the ever consistent Cade Donnelly. So he'll be looking for a good run tonight. But this is a field that has definitely been condensed down, I think, less 6, 7 or 8 drivers after that first incident, so a lot smaller.
The gap to Sharp ahead is increasing. It's now 0.91. P18.
There by Justin Witcher down the straight into turn. Greg Spencer into turns number 3 and 4. Justin Witcher is on the outside. He's going to drop straight down in front of Nigel Payton. It will be a Pinnacle Esports freight train 1, 2, 3 and 4 as they come across the start-finish line once again. On the outside there is Aaron Dillon, and that is Kate Donnelly on the outside. So the Simboys racing cars, or racing entries, really teaming up, and it looks like Todd Maxfield's going to join them on the outside as well. Philip Howe just sitting in behind there. You can see Michael Shaw on the outside making a good little run there on the outside. Michael Shaw loves a good super speedway and he's doing all right so far. Let's not put the commentators' curse on Michael Shaw, as I definitely did that for Derek Jacobs early in that. Andy Barber just jumps in, Paul. He doesn't think it's a good idea for him to go into the medical room to come have a chat. Probably not right now, so he doesn't seem too happy after that one. But we are racing once again. We can see Jamie Nankervis on the outside there. He's ranging up on the back of Michael Shaw, and we're going to go 3 wide down the front straight of the iRacing Supercar E-Series. And excuse me, we're going to go 4 wide as Scotty Rankin goes, nah. See you boys, I'm going around the top, and we're 4 wide down the iRacing Super Speedway front stretch into turn.
Gap to Sharp ahead is increasing. It's now 4.2.
Michael Shaw He's going to want to just pull down a little bit, or he'll get left out here down the back stretch, and he gets that one done. So that third lane starting to come up on the front, or on the first two lanes down the back stretch here of the iRacing Super Speedway. And Paul, that's exactly what we saw in the first little tiny green flag run, that the third lane could definitely get around the outside and get a good run, and we're definitely seeing that here with Scott Rankin leading Michael Shaw, although they just lost a little bit there on the entry to the turn there. But we'll see how that goes, because that outside line definitely can get a good run if you get a little bit of help.
Yeah, help is definitely what you need, but Greg is really tucked up on the back bumper there of Raymond Jaeger. So the Pinnacle Esports boys there in the Xfinity Racing Edge sponsored cars.
I'll wait for you to pass.
Sharp. Ahead is increasing. It's now 7.6 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Car high.
And
Clear on the outside.
The car behind is catching.
Car outside.
development, I think, if I got that right.
Hold your line.
So yeah, they're all
Still there.
they've
Still there.
the teams are sort of grouping up here.
He's still with you. High side's clear.
There's a few guys out there that are individuals, so they've got to find someone to work with as well. But it's been a long time since we've actually seen teams have to work like this, as the draft and all that sort of stuff, in especially oval racing over the last sort of season. It hasn't really been there to warrant.
Jeez, we're going to get to 290 and that's when I've got a draft.
No, it hasn't, and we're seeing that play.
I'm glad I've got it fixed up. She went to 300.
We do see the Pinnacle Esports cars, as you said there, on the low line. That is helping them with their strategy. Obviously, the drivers like the likes of Greg Spencer, Justin Witcher and Nigel Payton being able to save a little bit of fuel. Raymond Jaeger is a little bit...
The actor Sharp ahead is increasing. It's now 8.9.
Will set up to when they need to pit because of fuel. So obviously the driver at the front will be using more fuel. Of course, that's the same story there for Cade Donnelly, as he's followed by Aaron Dillon on the middle line, and Scott Rankin's pretty much in that boat as well.
Okay, Brett,
So,
the next car is Sharp.
I'd like to be a little bit second or third deep at the moment, as much as it's a little bit of a dicey spot to be in relation to fuel strategy, and to be
Maybe
able
I
to
should
sit
go
in
and
the
get
pit
it all
lane
fixed
shorter
so that then I
when
don't
it
blow
does
an
have
engine.
that final pit stop, if it is a green flag pit stop. Probably a better place to be, but at the same time, you'd much rather be at the front as well to give you the least opportunity to get caught up in an instant, as we see Michael Shaw go a little bit wide there into turn number 1 and 2 once again. Pete Matson, Ray White Rule gained to Onboard now. He's wanting to join the battle here on the outside line. Let's go on board with Peter Matson and have a look what it's like on board the Ray White Rural Gainda Commodore as he makes his way around the iRacing Super Speedway.
Watch your speed.
So it's got the
Box in
speed.
1,240 feet. We'll need to stop again to get to the end. Box in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now. Dylan is now leading.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of laps around the iRacing Super Speedway on board with the Ray White Rural Gainda 173 of Pete Matson. You could clearly see there how much the draft does work here around the iRacing Super Speedway. Pete Matson pretty much half throttled there when he got into the draft, and he could make a big move up on the outside of Philip Howe, and he's made the move around the outside of him now. So that's how big the draft is, as Philip Howe's going to make it 4 wide in the background here as we go down the back stretch once again for what is lap 15 of 67. So already nearly 1/4 of the way through this one, Paul. It still is the Pinnacle Esports guys at the front leading the way. Raymond Yeager and Greg Spencer there. That outside line getting a little bit of a run. Cade Donnelly and Aaron Dillon has now switched positions there on that inside line. So I don't know if you noticed that, Paul. Cade Donnelly was leading that little bit of a battle for the last couple of laps. Now they've switched up, and no doubt that is a fuel save strategy where those two drivers are just switching position to try and save that fuel and run as long as they can into this green flag run.
I think you definitely hit the nail on the head there, as yeah, a little bit of fuel saving and strategy from the teams. Definitely a smart thing to do there, rather than having a longer fuel stop for one driver and possibly then having that driver drop off the other one and not having anyone to work with. So definitely a smart move there by the Sim boys, working together tonight at the iRacing Super Speedway.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Raymond
Yeager is now in the lead.
Haven't tried a similar thing at the front. Raymond Yeager, the pioneer on fuel at the moment, as he's pretty much led the whole race so far. He's going to get off kilter on strategy here, because his teammates are going to be able to go a lap or two further on fuel. So he's the pioneer at the moment. We'll see how that plays out for Raymond Yeager. But it was Pete Matson, what a run around the outside, as he got a big push by Scotty Rankin there on the outside. So first time in a while we've seen Pete Matson up the front of the Ray White Rule Gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series as he gets really loose down the back stretch this time, but he holds that one, and looks like he got doored a little bit by Greg Justin off the track on the inside down the back stretch. So the guy's getting a little bit impatient here as we're 17 into 67, but Pete Matson still doing a great job there on the middle lane. Cade Donnelly's going to range right up on
the track temperature's decreasing. It's now 44 Celsius.
Well, now Cade Donnelly doesn't want to sit behind Pete Matson, as we see him want to take it 3 wide, and Todd Maxfield follows him on the outside line here. So looks like Pete Matson,
you're back out, Brett.
Way through 1 and 2 this time, may get hung out to dry as they go around the 1 and 2 turns. But look at Scotty Rankin getting a run right up the middle there. He's getting a push by Justin Witcher, as well as Philip Howe. Nearly
your exit's clear. Don't cross the white line.
Of Scotty Rankin, and we're 3 wide once again as we go down the back straight here at iRacing Super Speedway. So just looking at the comments too, as we're 3 wide again, the curse nearly continues. Yeah, the curse does continue. I'd say that's from Ryan Barber. It is from Ryan Barber, and I'd say it's a curse on Derek Jacobs. It definitely did happen tonight, but at the moment, just having a look, there's only 17 cars left on the lead lap. Warwick Sharp's about 17 seconds off the back of this battle pack at the moment, but these 16 cars you can see on your screen,
you get up to 307
all for the lead of this motor race. Jared Daly is
in the draft,
just at the back there, just sitting there with a watching brief. I tell you what, Jared Daly's in a really, really good position at the moment, just sitting back there letting the race unfold as we're Pinnacle Esports inside and outside, and Pete Matson is in a Pinnacle Esports sandwich as Cade Donnelly is going to push around the outside down the back straight.
P20.
This 3 wide just continues.
On the
we're
flat.
Still no caution. We're on lap 19 of 67. We're now nearly a third of the way through here, round number 5 of the Ray White Rule Gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series, as that looks like that's Justin Witcher maybe on the outside there. Sorry, Nigel Payton getting a little bit loose there into turns number 3 and 4, and he's going to get left out to dry. You can see there, I believe that is Brett Campbell that is about to get lapped once again. But have a look at this angry pack down the main straight of the iRacing Super Speedway. Do not blink, you'll miss it here on the Indosim Esports Network. This is
Payton is leading the race
around the Super Speedway here for the Australasian Supercar E-Series, and what amazing pictures it is here on the Indosim Esports Network. But Raymond Yeager still leading the way. We are on board with Brett Campbell. He's going to be a sitting duck very shortly and go another lap down as He just runs under the yellow there. Not sure why he's running under the yellow, but he's going to be a sitting duck as he has this angry pack of V8 supercars ranging right down on his rear wing as he goes in to the 3 and 4 turns. So in the next lap or two, you watch this angry pack completely swallow up Brett Campbell, and Brett Campbell will go another lap down, but it is Raymond Jaeger still leading the way, as you can see it in the background there. Have a look at those shots from Paul here at the IndySim Esports Network. How good are they? Of course, if you are tuning in here on the IndySim Esports Network across our platforms of Facebook or YouTube, be sure to share our streams and get everyone into the broadcast. We love to having you on the broadcast here. I can see him going 4 wide in the background.
Go on the high side.
On the stream, keep us engaged.
He's still there.
As we go green flag racing.
Keep your line.
Into 67 for round 5.
Go high.
Gained up Australasian
He's still there.
Series, but here it is, Paul. The big angry
Still there.
pack is about to catch up on your lapped car, Brett Campbell.
He's still there. Clear outside.
We'll see what Brett's going to do here. This big angry pack, as you've put it, have ranged up on Brett to lap him. So hopefully
Car outside.
through this cleanly.
He's still there.
Yeah, it looks like
You're
they
clear on the outside.
Just navigates to the outside. Brett Campbell sitting on the inside. Historically,
Car outside.
to the outside and let them through. Brett's decided to go
And
straight
still
inside.
there.
He's going to sit on the
Still
inside
there.
line. All the drivers doing a great job getting
He's
around
still
Brett
there.
at the moment, but that's going to allow Brett to get back
Keep this line.
to the draft that has put him
Keep your line.
another lap down in this motor race, so a long way
He's still with you.
to come back to feature in this one. Brett Campbell, a
Go on the
first-time
outside.
winner around the super speedway just
Hold
a
your
couple
line.
of weeks ago. He's had a couple of bad runs.
You're clear high. Go on the outside.
Good runs by his own admission.
He's still
And,
there.
Not a good start tonight, but anything can happen.
He's still
here
there.
for the Australasian Supercars.
That was a
Series
58.70.
He's still there.
I'll tell you what, Paul, Raymond's really content to sit
He's still
there
there.
in first position on the inside.
He's still with you.
All the fuel at the moment, so he
Still
thinks
there.
it's the best place to be. We'll see how that plays out.
Still there.
Strategy-wise for him as the race does progress.
He's still there.
Yeah, it's going to be
He's still there.
interesting to see,
Outside's clear.
Just how long that
Car high.
pit stop's going to be for Raymond.
Still there.
They
You're
did,
clear up high.
manage to stop on lap 5 for that first portion, and the only way
20th place. The track temperature is increasing. It's now.
Go on the outside.
Jaeger is now leading.
He's still there. Outside's clear.
was actually Scotty
Go on the high side.
and Jamie Nankovitz.
He's still there.
They actually
He's still there.
a lap later as well. So they
Keep this line.
and
Hold your line.
an extra lap of fuel in the tank there,
Still there.
Yeah, and for Jamie Nankervis, it's probably going to work out
Go high.
at the moment. You can see him. Oh, was that really
Keep your
wide
line.
going into, I think, the 3 and 4 turns.
Still there.
With nearly contact beat. Matson doing a great
Keep
job
your line.
inside there of Aaron Dillon. They get away with that
Clear
one.
on the outside.
Jamie
Go on the high
Nankervis
side.
really in a really good position at the moment. He is sitting
Still
back
there.
in the 13th position. You will see him off the
Hold your line. You're clear up high.
But he'll just be sitting there saving some fuel and trying to make
Car
his
high, stay low.
as short as possible, as we know.
Outside's clear.
No
Car high.
tires, so it's all down to
He's still there.
strategy as we see Aaron Dillon making it 3 wide.
Still with you.
Again around turns.
You're clear high.
1 and 2. He has no friends there.
Car outside.
On the outside, so he'll drop back a little bit.
Still there.
Drop down, but he's going to get a push on the outside.
He's
there,
still with
so
you.
we'll see how that works out. Pete Matson's going to get swallowed up.
Keep your line.
The inside line as they make their
Still there.
way down the main straight once again.
And still there.
Greg Spencer's not afraid
Still
of
with you.
Raymond Jaeger at the front there as he just
He's still
had
there.
a bit of a look down the main straight. Nowhere for him to go.
Clear on the outside.
He made it the front this early on, but he's not afraid to push Raymond Jaeger down the straight. He's got to be very careful because one wrong move that could take 2 of the Pinnacle Esports cars
On the high side.
to the lead of this motor race.
Still there.
We've seen that before, haven't we, Aidan?
Clear high.
We've seen that disaster strike where the boys have been pushing that hard and got a bit loose and turned each other around at the front of the pack.
Yeah, it has happened. It just takes a little bit of patience, and hopefully Greg's got a bit of that tonight. Greg Spencer
Hello.
overdue for a podium. You did get a podium this morning.
He's still with you.
Around Daytona, so he'll be full of
Still
confidence
there.
coming into this one. Raymond Jaeger not quite as
Clear
good
inside.
as his teammate this morning. so he'll be wanting
That
to
last lap was a 58.43.
Good run.
Car inside.
By his own admission, but he's doing everything possible.
Clear on the inside. Stay high.
And revenge that one.
Hold your line.
Revenge that one leading the way.
Still there. Low side's clear.
I'm keeping one eye on, and I'm going to give him the commentator's curse, but he's doing an absolutely sensational
This car on the low side.
especially around the super speedway, which is not.
He's still there.
May look
Clear
like
inside.
it's out, but it takes a lot of concentration.
Dylan is leading the race.
A lot of commitment to pick your lines. Is Pete Matson from Ray White Rural Gander. He's doing a great job. He's sitting there on the second line as Justin Kutcher gets a great run there around the outside, and he's going to take the lead of this motor race over Raymond Yeager. But Pete Matson doing a great job on that outside line. He's not afraid to mix it at the front early in this one.
No, definitely not.
Car inside.
Pretty good, strong shot.
Keep this line. Clear down low. It's car low.
Mix and the elbows out.
Still there.
There is Aaron Dillon's
Clear low.
got that huge run around the outside. So not sure if there's a bit of slingshot, a bit of shake and bake going on at the iRacing Super Speedway. Certainly not at Talladega, but definitely making the use of that draft just to see the potential passings and capabilities for the final leg of this race when it's going to count.
Yeah, it looked like that.
That's car low, stay high.
It was checked up a little bit, and there was nearly
Keep your line.
contact. But have a look at that run around the outside.
He's still there.
So, like we saw when we were on board with him,
Still with you.
Going on board with him.
Clear inside.
He was half throttle and getting a really
car low.
rough. So these guys at any moment can really
Still
take
there.
into this motor race if they really want to.
Inside's
Now
clear.
It's just a game of chess and putting themselves in the right position. And Raymond's pushing Greg now around the outside as he gets
Stay high.
really wobbly there down the.
He's still there. Low side's clear.
Straight
There's a car inside.
They're going to jump into the lead of this motor race.
Clear down low.
Championship leader now goes into the lead of the motor race. Raymond Yeager back there in second. It is Pinnacle Esports 1, 2 and 3. Pete Matson's now decided it's my turn to run the inside line and sit there behind the Pinnacle Esports guys. So we'll see.
Car low, stay high.
Goes now changing lanes.
Still there.
The inside. Todd Maxfield having a nice solid.
Hold your line.
He's up
Inside's clear. Car on the low side.
He's having a great
He's still
run
there.
so far, but no one getting away.
Still there.
We're not going to expect this to change.
And still there.
Expect these battles to keep happening.
He's still with you.
As the race progresses.
Keep your line.
Just sitting off there in the background, you can see Michael.
He's still there.
In the background. He's currently sitting in the 13th position.
You're clear on the inside. Car on the inside.
Saving some fuel, I'd suggest, doesn't want to party.
You're clear low.
You've just done a 58.46.
As the race does come on, Brett Campbell looks like he wants to come back into this one after a lap down, so he gets
Carlo.
right around the outside. He's going to sit there on the outside.
He's still with you.
entitled to have a race.
He's still there. Low side's clear.
These guys go. So if he wants
Stay
to
high.
race and get the lead of this race or get a lap back,
He's still there.
He's well entitled to do that, but he's not going to do that.
Still there.
By himself on the outside.
Keep your line.
Greg Spencer as we go across the stretch.
Clear on the inside.
Once
Car
again,
inside.
Oh, as there's nearly a big little
Keep your line.
there by Raymond.
Better go in for fuel soon.
He's
still there.
Between
Yep.
a good push and disaster.
Still with you.
We saw Greg Spencer get really
Still there.
as Raymond got right underneath the rear wing of his car.
He's still there.
Got 9.
Still there.
Yes.
Hold your line.
That's what we mentioned, you know.
Still there. Clear down low.
Together, pushing each other that hard.
That was a 58.31.
Car low.
Cars and,
Peyton is now in the lead.
Still there.
they're blocked bumper to bumper.
Low side's clear.
Yeah, they're doing a good job so far though, and it has been.
Well, all I need is a sewing kit.
Domination at the front. You can see Kate Donnelly and Aaron Dillon. They've just dropped back a little bit, fourth back on that inside run,
Car inside.
line. So they've decided
He's still there.
this is the best place for us to be. We're not going to get
Still there.
try and race for the
Clear
lead.
inside. Car on the
Just
inside.
Quite yet. So
Inside's
see
clear.
how that happens.
It's car low.
Peyton's gone for a big run around the outside. He's going to get
Clear
that
inside.
job
There's a
done
car inside.
down into turn number 1 and 2.
He's still with you.
Police
You're clear low.
taking their turn
Stay
in
high.
front of this one.
Right,
Matson's
we've got a full course
up
yellow.
there on the outside, and he's going to get a great run out of turn number 3 and 4. And
I
he's
reckon.
going to take the lead of the motor race for the
They
first
are,
time
not me.
tonight as he leads. The
Pace car is out. Line up single file behind car number 630. Full course yellow. It's a closed.
It is Pinnacle Esports there in second, third and fourth. They're going to get a good run around the outside here. So Pete Matson's going to be a as they make their way around turn number 3 and 4 and down the front. Oh, there it is. It happens. It happens. And that is Nigel Payton around, and that is your second caution of the night here for round 5 of the Australasian Supercar E-Series. Nigel.
Well, when the pit's open, I'm going to get some fuel.
Drivers getting into each other, and Paul, we've been saying it for about 20 laps, and there we go, it happens.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely needed to watch that one, as there was big potential for those boys, Pinnacle Esports and the team. Still is big potential, but yeah,
Pits are open.
Was that the leaders or was it a back marker?
a bit of a cautionary approach to the remainder of the 36 laps to come.
Yeah, hopefully they do, and I think Nigel might have got away with that one pretty unscathed. It looked like he didn't get any contact with anything, as his Pinnacle Esports entry looks pretty good as he makes his way down the back stretch. So that could have been the one that could have been bad for Nigel, but it looks like he could have got away with that one. But we're back to the simracermerch.com instant replay to see what happened.
The leader is pitting now.
Pinnacle Esports guys here on the inside. We're a little bit far back at the moment. We'll just watch this play out. But we've got the Pinnacle Esports guys. This is where we see Nigel Payton, I believe, get the big run around the outside over Pete Matson. He'll drop down into the lead of the motor race. Pete Matson does the exact same thing and returns serve on the Pinnacle Esports guys as they come off the turn here. You'll see Pete Matson get a really, really good run, and he'll now take the lead of the motor race in this replay. So Pete Matson drops down. They make their way down the back stretch. So just keep one eye on Nigel Payton. I believe that could be Justin Witcher in behind him, the championship leader that makes...
The car ahead's pitting now.
Down into Greg Spencer, down into 3 and 4. They're going to get a good run off 3 and 4 and get a good drive and clearly get Pete Matson, but Greg Spencer just getting...
Cock behind is pitting now.
Taking the air off the back of his car and sending Nigel Payton around. Nigel very lucky to not go upside down there in the Pinnacle Esports entry. We'll see whether he makes contact with the wall. He has a slight contact on the rear, but not going to make much of a difference here around the iRacing Super Speedway. So Nigel, very, very lucky to get away with that one, Paul.
Definitely. We'll just jump on board from Greg's view there, just to
safety car is out. Pits are now open.
So gives Nigel a little bit of a bump there, and then just out of the corner, just the wrong hit on the wrong angle there on Nigel's bumper, that sent him around.
Yeah, bumping through a corner is definitely not the ideal thing to do around the Super Speedway. So Greg gave him one bump. Probably should have just backed.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Let his teammate.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
Got the run, but anyway, Greg will learn from that one. He'll be back. No harm, no foul.
I'll be annoyed if I get a black flag.
Box in 1240 feet.
Off the
we think we'll need to stop again.
Time around. We'll go down and have a
box
look,
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Bring our man Derek Jacobs up, the most unluckiest guy in the Ray White Rule Gained Australasian Supercar E-Series. Derek Jacobs, mate, our friend, as always bring you up in the booth, mate. Again, don't know who you got to pay off, mate, but you have to be one of the most unluckiest drivers this year in all of these leagues.
You know what? It is what it is. You know, sometimes it's just, you know, it's just out of your control. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. You know.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like all your Southern Stars Esports racing teammates have had a little bit of an unfortunate start to this one. We saw Andy Barber get caught up with that incident. Adam Malone caught up in that incident. Also, Darren McKenzie caught up in that incident. It's not the way your team wanted to start, mate.
No, that's a good way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4 out the door. Unfortunately, it's just sad that it had to happen that way. 20 laps. So we got good cars tonight. Good practice down, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Sometimes it just gets a little bit of nibble, and sometimes it's the whole cookies all in one shot.
Well, mate, good to keep seeing you back into all the series. We look forward to, of course, seeing you again in round number 6. But how did the supercar feel? I know you're not a big fan of the supercar per se. You come from a big NASCAR background. But
I'm coming.
how did you find that around the super speedway tonight, the iRacing?
Green flag.
Clear low.
Draft is really, really important here. You come upon cars.
Stay low.
I basically came all the way from third.
Clear outside.
All the way up to
Stay low.
third there in a matter of a lap.
Keep your line.
It just shows you how important the draft is.
He's still with you.
With them, so
Still there. You're clear on the outside.
it's the name of the game, unfortunately.
The car in front is pitting.
We unfortunate again for you tonight here for the Ray White Rule Gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series. They're just going green once again, but we thank you for your time. We'll let you jump back up with your teammates, and as I always say, hopefully we're talking to you on a brighter note next time.
Absolutely, my friends. Hopefully we'll get on a little bit of a better show next time and get the Southern Stars and the number 99 at the victory line.
No worries, Derek. We wish you all the best, mate. We'll see you next week.
Later, mate. Have a good broadcast, brother.
Well, there we go, Paul. Derek Jacobs, as always, making himself available.
Go high.
Green once again. Pete Matson leading
Keep this line.
down the back.
Spencer is now in the lead.
We're going
Clear outside.
already on
Car outside.
Esports Racing.
Clear on the outside.
Going around the outside.
Car outside.
Which he wants to lead the way here. We did
Still
see
there.
Scott Rankin though there, Paul.
How much fuel you got,
Outside's
Brett?
clear.
His
full,
stop
mate.
there under the yellow.
Get to the end?
Now he's about 10 seconds
No, I don't
off the back
think so.
of his pack, so
We think about 23 laps of fuel left, 3.1 litres per lap. We will need to add 31 litres to get to the end of the race.
I'm going to do about 6 laps out here, then I'm going to go in the pits.
last
Yeah, I
Monday
got
night,
10
so
laps short.
Scott Rankin doing a good job, but he's now in pit lane again, so
Car on the high
it looks like,
side.
he's had a little bit of an issue in this one.
He's still with you.
Yeah, we did see that.
Still there.
Angle into pit lane there, and
Still there.
overstepping that. So
Outside's clear.
not too sure what happened there. But, a bit of a brake lock up, and find ourselves once again. But the Pinnacle Esports boys here.
The lap time was at 58.50.
Car inside.
Side line, so
He's still there. Clear inside.
definitely fast. But that
Carlo.
outside line is really coming in with that drive.
And still there. Clear on the inside.
Really good run and come up on the cars really fast. So it's interesting to see. And we see Michael Shaw there
Car high.
pop out, ducking back in. But
Keep your line. Clear outside.
Very interesting to see how much of a big push you can get.
Car on the low side.
Third lane outside to
He's still there.
all the way into the front and the inside line.
Hold your line.
I think if Michael Shaw wanted to,
He's still there.
Going to what you were just saying, I think if Michael
He's
Shaw
still
wanted
there.
to, he could take the lead of this motor race.
You're clear on the inside. Car on the inside.
Or as Michael gets really loose.
Still there.
Dylan is leading the race.
Oh, and he drops down. He goes on
Clear down low.
the inside line. So Michael Shaw just decides to go down.
Car
there.
inside.
I think if he wanted to, he could
P19.
go around the
That lap was at
outside.
58.2.
Stay high.
Car there of Justin Witcher. He
Still there.
This motor race just a lap ago. Dropped
Still
up
there.
to 6th or 7th position. But if he wants to, he can
Keep your line.
lead this motor race again. So I think it's a big slingshot.
He's still
here
there.
on the outside. We did see Pete Matson earlier.
He's still with you.
On the outside, still catching the
He's still there.
I think if you want to lead the motor race, you really can. It's just
Still there.
who wants to sit there and possibly be in a position. You
Carlo.
can see it now. Look at Justin Witcher. He's decided I'm going to put the foot down.
Still
now
there.
and go to the outside, and he's going to get a really good
Still
run
with you.
on the outside here. Can't quite clear them in the turn.
Hold your line.
Number 1 and 2. We'll see how that
Still there.
as he comes out of the turns now.
Inside's clear. Stay
On
high.
the outside line, but that won't last for long.
Keep your
So
line.
you'll see him come down the back straight now.
He's still there.
Justin Witcher wanting to
Low
sit on
side's
the
clear.
outside line. Pete Matson's going to leave him out to dry. So that's probably
It's Carlo. Stay high.
of what I'm trying to explain. to
He's
you
still with you.
in the Esports network. But that outside line will
Carlo, stay high.
factor to be able to win this race. And I
And
actually
still there.
just note me on this one, Paul. I think
It's car on the low side.
is going to come from the outside line.
Still there. Inside's clear.
Well, they can do a bit of a one-move block, so they do have to be careful, I think, when they
It's Carlo.
do that to try and shut down that outside
Hold your line.
on that final corner.
Keep your line.
Can't stop anyone from getting that run.
He's still with you.
Yeah, they can.
He's still there.
It's going to be who's going to feint and who's
He's still
going
there.
to know who's going to feint and where they're going to feint, because if the driver
Go on the low side.
does know and switches, they can only make one
Go
move.
low, stay high.
If you decide to make that move, you're stuck.
He's still there.
See how that plays out.
He's still there.
Aaron Dillon going to lead the way. He's
Keep this line. You've just low side's clear.
lane. Pete Matson still working the outside lane. He's going to want to lead again as they make
There's a car inside.
4, and Pete Matson's going to drop down and take the
Still
lead
there.
of the motor.
Low side's clear.
Again, that was the example I was trying to show you, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to lead the motor race, Pete Matson.
So Brett, when you're going for fuel,
Go inside.
tell us, and I'll try to go in with you.
Still there.
Even though I'm miles away.
Still there. Clear inside. Car inside.
I believe that might be.
And still there.
No, that's Gary.
Still there.
Actually, about to go a lap down. So
Keep
Gary
your line.
Wellman, after leading the championship after the first.
You're clear down low.
And actually coming away with the W.
Car inside.
I believe it was Paul. Gary Wellman.
He's still with you.
Back with the W. He's not going to repeat
Keep this
that
line.
performance tonight as with 39 laps.
Hold your line.
To 67, and it's similar
Clear on the
to
inside.
what we saw with Brett Campbell. He's got the angle.
It's car on the low side.
All right, Brett, we're at the halfway point. We estimate 18 laps of fuel remaining.
Still there. You're clear low.
Yeah, anyway,
Car low.
Paul's giving me crap in my ear as he always does. So
Hold your line.
Well, crap and crack and
Still there.
Angry
Iron
crack.
there.
Let's talk palm trees.
He's still with you.
It's random. Like, let's just we talk random.
He's still there. You're clear on the inside. Stay high.
Supercar E-Series as we always do.
He's still there.
It might be time for a bit of Sim Esports Network.
He's still there.
Mate, they're just settling down on.
He's still there.
Oh, actually, no, you
Keep your line.
You didn't. So we had.
Still there.
I guess
Inside's clear.
41 degrees.
Car on the inside.
Andy Barber.
Car either side, you're in the middle.
Tonight, 42.
Low side's clear.
I have a chat. Which
Full
is
clear.
Completely okay. Yeah, so we've got the two
Stay high.
answers. I believe Andy's going to be a lot closer.
He's still with you.
Well,
That last lap was out.
Clear on the inside. It's car low, stay high.
Because there's two different.
Still there.
Daly is now leading.
Clear inside.
no.
Stay high.
So, in iRacing,
Still with you.
I'd say
Clear low.
the banking is more than 30 degrees in turns. So, you're over 30 degrees, so
Car low.
39, 42, everyone.
Keep your line.
I'm closer to 30, so I get.
He's still there.
We'll give you all gold stars.
Still there.
We get gold stars. Awesome. I wish we had gold
Still
stars.
there.
We can bring up on the screen. Get gold stars.
Still there.
So me and Andy both get gold
Still
stars.
there.
Well done, Andy. You might not have got the win tonight, mate, but you got
Still
a gold
there.
star. So that's what better would you want?
Keep your line.
This is a gold star by the Sim Esports.
Clear down low.
So you
It's
got
car low.
one done. But Pete Matson's still leading.
He's still there.
Paul, Jared Daly now.
Should be about 17 laps remaining on this tank. 3.1 litres per lap. We'll need to add 33 litres to get to the end.
Sorry, 20th.
Still there.
He's up now 19 spots.
Keep your line.
As they go across the line.
He's still there.
Jared Daly in my favourite brand of
Go on the inside.
pizza shapes there, mate. That's why
Keep
he's
your
going
line.
so fast. I hope he's had a whole packet or two.
He's still with you.
Before he come out tonight.
So whereabouts are you positioned?
He's still with you.
Start finish line then.
He's still there.
There on top with barbecue.
Still there.
Well, but,
So that's what I just
Still
come
there.
across.
Yep.
Clear
I
inside.
like a chicken crimpy, Paul.
E19.
Chicken crimpy. I don't mind a chicken crimpy with a bit of
Stay high.
French onion dip, but
He's still there.
if you want it, this is really the tip here on the
He's still there.
Esports Network. As we talk everything
Hold your line.
racing at the moment, as Jared Daly takes
And still there.
a good little concoction.
He's still with you.
Is the
Dylan is now leading.
Dorito chip.
He's still there.
That lap time was 59.43.
He's still with you.
Get that into your gob, mate. You
Hold your line.
That whole pack,
Clear inside.
That whole pack of dip will be gone as Pete Matson nearly has a big incident there with Raymond Yeager through the turn. So Pete Matson obviously
car low.
talking about pizza shapes in front of him.
Inside's clear.
He just chops off a little bit of the apron there. So there you go. We've given you
There's
a
car
little bit of
inside.
insight into our food likings here on the
Still there.
Esports Network. Paul's Chicken Crimpy Austrian on Mexicana.
Still there.
So there you go. That's
Inside's clear.
absolutely nothing to do with the motor race, by the way.
Well, it sounds like you like your French onion dip.
It's car low, stay high.
If we're going to discuss
Still
dips
there.
now, then I do
He's still there.
The avocado dip.
Keep this line.
And,
It's a good avocado.
You're clear low.
Dip or a guacamole.
Car low, stay high. Still there. Clear low.
I've got nothing, Paul. Paul's in my ear. Got nothing. Give me heaps.
Hopefully
I've
this
got
lap I
nothing.
can get
I've
in.
got to mute myself for a
Avocado
few minutes.
dip.
I think.
Hey Tristan, can you hear me?
Oh, they're going into pit lane now. So they obviously want a bit of avocado dip. Dip. D-I-P, dip.
So yeah, on low, so I'll be going in this lap, Tristan.
Righto.
Just gotta
So
click
hopefully
this
by
out
the
there.
time
So,
I fuel up and
Raymond
you get in,
Jaeger and,
I'll
Michael
be just
Tad
about ready to
Justin
get out.
Spencer, all
Car
the
outside.
Esports boys there coming
Yeah, I'll tell these guys I'm going to jump in.
Still 015 pitting. Clear on the outside.
Finding himself at the front
Holy
of this
shit, wrecking.
race at iRacing Super Speedway.
What's your
I sort of
speed?
expected that. Now back to the serious.
Box in,
action, but sort of expected that
1240.
Jamie
Who's wrecking?
Caution because it went into
back-saving
the
his
We'll need to stop again.
To be able to go longer.
Shorey and Jamie.
Box in, 5,
So we'll see how
4,
this plays
3,
out.
2, 1. Box now.
There through Sean Hart and Michael Shaw. Michael Shaw giving him a big elbow into the corner there. But I sort of expected that. Oh, no, there we go. Michael Shaw and Jamie Nankervis. There we go. There's going. It's not going to be a caution either. It's
Behind is pitting.
They're going to keep going. So that's going to be night over for Michael Shaw and Jamie Nankervis. So there's another commentator's curse, Paul. We'll
Just
go
ducking into the
back
pits now.
to
Yeah, mate.
the
I won't accelerate too hard.
replay and have a look at that one. Michael Shaw, the man from simracermerch.com.
All clear on pit exit.
It's car low.
Simracer merch. But we'll go back to the
You're clear on the
replay and
inside.
see what happened between Jamie Nankervis and Michael Shaw. You'll see Jamie Nankervis on the inside here. Not
Daly
sure if
is
they're
leading the
winning.
race.
Just watch that. Michael Shaw on the outside. Yeah, not sure which way to play that one. That's almost net code to an extent. They're going to have a nice excursion onto the inside wall of pit lane. Michael Shaw, a big hit. Jamie Nankervis, not so much, not going to affect him as much. But that looks like that is almost night over for the 07 of Michael Shaw. Jamie Nankervis might have slowed it up enough then to not get a penalty coming into pit lane there, Paul. So he might have been able to get through his pit stop and
you coming out of two, Tristan?
continue going. But good job. by
No,
the
just coming out of the pits now.
behind To try and
I've just
miss
gone into 3
that
and 4.
one. But Raymond Jaeger will take the lead of the race when these front drivers at the moment do go into pit lane. So your first 3 at the moment is Jared Daly, Pete Matson and Troy Davidson. But there are lap cars involved in this, so that's going to hold them up a little bit. They'll want to get around the outside and keep going. So these guys, obviously, Pete Matson doing a great job with his strategy at the moment. He came through pit lane on lap number 31. So he's doing a great job with his pit strategy. He is going to have to pit one more time. It looks like that Raymond Jaeger, etc., 41 seconds off the back of this, won't have to pit again. So we'll see what the strategy happens and how that all plays out. All repairs done, including optional, and won't let Andy back out. So Kylie's jumped in, and Kylie being Andy's partner, I believe, won't let Andy back out onto the racetrack.
I got a pack coming up behind me.
Yeah, it's
just on the front straight now.
could be a glitch in the iRacing matrix, but that's unfortunate. I know I've had those
I'm
issues
sitting on about
before,
260 at the moment, waiting
and
for you.
it wasn't until I
260 now, just put your foot to the floor, man.
that it would release the car from
really
pit
need to
lane,
take the
but
car now.
unfortunately the boys don't have a fast repair, which
I'm doing 286, 287.
is stuck there, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be stuck there by the looks of it. iRacing's had a couple of those little glitches and one of those happened to me just last week as well, Paul. So we're all putting up with the same issue at the moment. It looks like Andy Barber's being struck with that one tonight, but I think the incident pretty much took him out of it anyway, but that's just another one to rub the salt into the wounds. But just looking back at the moment, Troy Davidson did come out of pit lane in front of Raymond Yeager and Justin Witcher as we see the battle for the lead at the moment, but he's just dropped back into the little battle. But I'm just watching that gap. So this is Troy Davidson there on screen, just in behind Cade Donnelly, Justin Witcher and Raymond Yeager. But the thing I'm looking at, I'm just keeping an eye on that interval between Pete Matson and Jared Daly at the front of the motor race, and it's currently still sitting at around 44.5 seconds. So it's the gap from the front to these guys is not really changing, but it's definitely going to be a lot longer than 44.5 seconds through.
The guy in front is Sean.
So at the moment, these drivers of Raymond Yeager, Justin Witcher, Aaron Dillon, Cade Donnelly and Troy Davidson are pretty much the top 5 in the fight for this one if we do go green to the end, I'd suggest, Paul.
You haven't.
It'll be interesting to see where Pete Madsen and Gerard Daly pop out of pit lane when they do make their stops. If they
We estimate 21 laps of fuel remaining, 3 litres per lap.
They got 13, 14, and everybody else behind me.
So definitely going to be interesting to see as that gap is closing, so they don't want to leave that too late to make their stop, otherwise they're not going to get that chance to get back on the pack.
Yeah, they won't, but the more that these guys do this at the front too, that's not really going to help them with the gap behind them, but it's still sort of staying there. Last time around 58.7, 58.8 for Pete and Jared respectively, 58.2s, 57.8 for Yeager, Witcher and Dillon, so they're losing just a little bit. They're going to have a pit time of, I'd say, around about 12 seconds.
The track temperature is falling. It's now 44 Celsius.
Justin Witcher and Aaron Dillon, who came through on lap 43, they were stationary for about 15 to 16 seconds each. So between that and the 43 seconds, it's about a 27-second mark in regards to going in and out of pit lane, let alone their stationary time. So it could be pretty close. Interesting to see, as we don't know what the time is to transition through pit lane, but that gap is nearly getting to under 43 seconds. That goes down to 43.15. So Pete Matson and Jared Daly are going to want to work together here with this lap traffic and try not to pass as much as possible, because we do know that Raymond Yeager and Justin Witcher, even Aaron Dillon, Cade Donnelly and Troy Davidson will work together, as you can see that there, to try and get this gap as small as they can for when Jared Daly and Pete Matson decide to take their final stop. So we'll see how that plays out. Just in the last half a lap has been talking, Paul, that's now dropped over half a second down to nearly being under 42 seconds.
Yeah, the problem that Pete Matson and Gerard Daly have is these 2-lap cars. They've got nothing to lose there besides trying to get laps back. And Sean Hart there, the first one down a lap, who is making the move once again around Pete Matson. So because they've got nothing to lose, then they're just going to pop out and keep passing the leaders there. So the only thing that Pete and Gerard can do is really stay tucked up on each other and not allow the 2-lap cars to try and pass them. But the other thing I'd be doing is pitting now to get rid of them.
The lead car's pitting.
So it's only going to be a slowdown for them if they continue this.
Yeah, the hard thing is, though, with that run that you can get on the outside, these lap cars, which they're entitled to do, looking at making the move around as much as they can. They don't need to work with these guys at all. So that's not helping, as the gap's now down to under...
There's a car leaving the pit lane.
And it's dropping really quick, and here we go. Here's the pit lane. So keep an eye on this as Pete Matson comes really hard into pit lane. Does he get that pulled up? Looks like he just did that, as it's a really fast pit lane entry. So we'll see how the gap or how much gap they actually did have. So it was about at that 41-second mark when they came into pit lane, taking off about 15 seconds. It'll be a little bit less than that. We'll see how
Jaeger is now in the lead.
Is stationary, so we'll see where they come out. They only need to be a little bit close to the battle at the front when they come out, and they'll still be able to range up on the back. So let's keep an eye on that. You can see the leaders in the background, or sorry, the likes of Kate Donnelly and Raymond Jaeger in the background coming down pit lane. So this has worked out pretty good for Pete Matson. He comes out of pit lane now. He's going to lose a little bit because they're all in the draft as Jared Daly follows him out now. So you can see that's the little lead group here, just taking the lead. So if Pete Matson and Jared Daly did pit, I'd say 4 or 5 laps earlier, they might have been in the position to battle for the lead of this motor race. But I tell you what, Paul, it's still not over. We'll see what that gap is. It's just ranging out now to about 5 seconds. That's how quick it does happen, as the group is at 300 and something kilometres an hour, and you're just trying to come out of pit lane. But either way, Pete Matson, great strategy there to be in 6th position. And what we've seen earlier in this race is no surprise if something does happen at the front of this one, 53 into 67. We've already seen 2 Pinnacle Esports entries get into the back of each other. That could happen again. We've got 2 Simboys Racing entries there as well. So that could happen between those guys. As we know, there are no team orders between those 2 drivers. And we've got Troy Davidson there as well. And we've got a lap car in the mix as well. So 54 into 67 with 14 to go. A lot left to play out in this one.
Sure, and that stop wasn't too bad for Peter Matson. He's now got Greg Spencer and Todd Maxfield there to work with as well. As Nigel Patton's looking to make a bit of a run around here on the outside. So you see Pete Matson there.
We think about 16 laps of fuel left, 3.2 litres per lap.
So trying to make this 5-car battle at the front a 9-car battle. That pit stop really hurt Gerard Daly there. He's fallen back to P10 and doesn't really have anyone around him to work with. Now he's going to drop right off the back of the second pack here. So it's really hurt Gerard.
Yeah, Gerard Daly actually had a second quicker pit stop than Pete Matson, but I saw it when we were live there, Paul, when they came into pit lane. Where Gerard lost all his time was on the entry to pit lane, just being a little bit too cautious there to not get a speeding penalty, and he lost a couple of seconds, which has put him 5 seconds off the back of Nigel Payton, Pete Matson and Greg Spencer and Todd Maxfield. So sitting there in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. They're probably not going to want to battle too much as we're back on with the lead of the motor race. That second pack has got the gap down to about 5.5 seconds. So in the last lap and a half, they've taken half a tenth of a second.
Car on the inside.
The lead of this motor
Low
race.
side's clear.
Hopefully the guys from
Car low.
6th, 7th, 8th and 9th
Low side's
will
clear.
work together and don't do what we see at the front here with 2-3 wide racing, because the more that they stay single file and push up on this group, they will get themselves into a position to be able to win this motor races. That gap, see, as soon as they've gone 3 wide now, I've just seen that gap in my live timing drop 7
Car on the outside.
a second, but now it's just going straight.
High side's clear.
And so I'd suggest the guys behind are battling, and there they are. They are battling right now. So these guys need to be in each other's.
Donnelly is now leading.
The Sim Esports Network guys in the background work together, because you will catch the guys at the front. But we'll see how that happens. It's down to 4.6 seconds. So definitely
inside.
here, Paul, as we're 56 into 6.
Still there.
This time across the strike will go lap.
Still there.
Full course yellow, be careful.
Hey.
So 11 laps to go in round 5 of the Ray White rule.
Get some more fuel.
E-Series also a big thank you to the sponsors of Winter Electrics for being a part of this amazing series, and of course the Sim Racing Edge for the live timing tower for the placing.
Pace car is out. Line up single file behind car number 630. Safety cars out. Pits are closed.
Wide as Aaron Dylan goes, we're Sim Boys 3 wide and we're Pinnacle Esports on the inside. And we go caution here. Caution for the third time of the Ray White rule going to Australasian Supercar E-Series. Not sure what's brought out the caution here, but I tell you what, the likes of Pete Matson, Todd Maxfield, Nigel Payton and Greg Spencer will be licking their lips for this one. 57 into 67. It's now anyone's. This is going to bring Jamie Nankervis, Scott Rankin, Ian Clash, Sean Hart, Jared Daly back into this one as well. So if you're tuned in here on the Indosim Esports Network, do not switch your dial, because we're about to go 7 laps of door-banging supercar action here around the iRacing Super Speedway to see who's going to take out round number 5 of the Ray White rule game to Australasia Supercar
Pits are open.
Series. So,
How you going for fuel?
not what the leaders wanted to see. We don't quite have the simracermerch.com instant replay for you at the moment, as that hasn't brought out any type of incident to us of what happened. So if we can bring that to you, we will, but for the moment we'll stay under caution. It will be Troy Davidson leading the Angry Pack to green next time around. They should be good for fuel. We'll see whether they are. If they're not, we'll see them come into pit lane, obviously. So we'll see what happens at the
I'm going to duck and get fuel.
So Paul, I tell you what, the likes of Todd
He's
Maxwell,
still short.
Pete
We've only
Matson,
got
Nigel
14 laps to
Payton,
go.
Jared Daly.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So I'm laps down, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Greg Spencer's had something to do with that as he's in pit lane. We'll go back to the simracermerch.com instant replay, see if we can have a look and see what happened. So we're on board with Greg Spencer there. He's got Todd Maxfield
Cock behind is pitting.
him, and Todd Maxfield making a little bit of contact there on the outside right of Greg Spencer. That's just going to fire him straight
The car ahead's
into the
pitting.
outside wall. So there it is. That is not what Greg Spencer wanted, as he was slowly gaining on his teammates at the lead of the motor race, and he was going to be a part or a fixture possibly into the end of this one. But that's put Greg Spencer out. Sean Hart, Scott Rankin, Jamie Nankervis in pit lane as well, Paul. So might be coming in pit lane. I believe those guys just taking a little bit of repair, because they're probably going to be right on fuel as we see Troy Davidson and all the leaders stay out here under caution. So those 3 drivers just trying to take a little bit of repair there.
Should be about 11 laps remaining on this tank. 3 litres per lap.
Next time round.
Yeah, that caution just helped everyone bunch back up again. So what was a 5-car run at the front there is now going to be at least a 10-car run. So with
We estimate 11 laps of fuel left. 3 litres per lap. Safety car is out. Pits are now open.
car, maybe even a 13 car, possibly, lap race to the finish.
Yeah, it's going to be a absolute sprint race to the finish, and expect the lead to change every single lap when we go green. But I tell you what, it's really weird looking through our Discord, and ladies and gentlemen, we use an app called Discord for all our chats, if you don't know, and we can see where all the drivers are up in their team channels.
Get ready,
And,
race will resume at the end of this lap.
Weird look here across anything we broadcast, to be honest, to see not one driver in the Southern Stars Racing chat pool. That is a really weird look here.
Yeah, certainly not a good night for the team. Getting a whole team wipe in the first portion. Something that's quite unfortunate, but obviously can't be helped when everyone's working together and they all get caught up in the same incident.
Yeah, exactly, and it does happen, that super speedway racing, as they follow the pace car around. So we'll just keep an eye out whether the pace car's lights are off as they make their way into turn number 1 and 2. I'd say they are, because they're starting to form up too wide. So we will go green next time across the strike. It will be about, what lap are we? Just trying to see that, just bear with me. So we're lap 60, we will be lap 61 next time across the strike. So they're now going down the back straight. So next time across the strike, there'll be 7 laps left to go. So who is your pick here ladies and gentlemen, for round number 5 of the Ray White Royal Gander Australasian Supercar E-Series. Will it be the Sim Boys entries? Troy Davidson, Cade Donnelly, Aaron Dillon. Will it be Todd Maxfield sitting back there in 6th? Will it be one of the Pinnacle Esports Racing entries? Justin Witcher, Raymond Yeager, Nigel Payton. Will it be Justin Witcher, your current championship leader and reigning champion, taking home yet another win here for the Australasian Supercar E-Series? We're about to find out as we're about to go green for hopefully what is the final time tonight for round 5 around the iRacing Supercar.
My goodness.
Speedway here for the Ray White Royal Gander Australasian Supercar E-Series. So Troy Davidson off the pole.
Road rage.
Justin Witcher on the outside of that front row. Cade Donnelly and Aaron Dillon on that second row. Watch out for those two as we go green. Raymond Yeager, Todd Maxfield off that third row. We're in the hands of Troy Davidson. We're waiting for the green flag and he's decided to put the boot into it, and we're green once again as we head the way down the main straight at the iRacing Super Speedway into turn number 1 and 2. Pretty pedestrian at the moment, but watch as they go through 1 and 2. Watch them fan out. We will go 3 wide racing down the back stretch once again as these cars just come up to speed. You can see in the background there, Aaron Dillon.
Brett.
I got through that, did you?
Trying to join.
Please tell me you got through that.
I got through that.
Oh, thank Christ for that.
I pressed the brake, I throttled, I pressed the brake, I throttled, pressed the brake, I throttled, and the car's bouncing off walls left, right and centre.
Pretty much the same here.
Oh, talk about a brown stain moment.
Oh, yeah.
Two turns number 3 and 4. Not sure why that slowed up, but for some reason that slowed up and we've gone caution once again. So it looks like Raymond Yeager might have been involved in that one as well. I knew there was a Pinnacle Esports car involved in that one, but there is the usual saying, Paul, cautions breed cautions, as we go back to the simracingmerch.com instant replay. So we just caught the tail end of that one, and that looks like Scott Rankin was involved in that one.
Oh, that changes a lot.
That's definitely a Pinnacle Esports car involved. No, it's not actually. Ian Class involved in that. Looks like Pete Matson involved. Oh, Jared Daly involved. They got away with that pretty scot-free. Sean Hart's involved on the outside. See if there's any secondary contact. So it looks like Sean Hart or Rankin, Jamie big secondary action as Jamie Nankervis nearly having a big ride there as he's involved.
Get some laps back.
Another accident. So a couple of the drivers we thought were going to play a part in this one as Jamie Nankervis is going to come down just finish off Jared Daly.
I got the replay going on the second monitor, and you
so big
just missed
some of the
everything.
players there.
I know.
That we thought were going to play a factor in this one. Instant there, Paul. Like
As I said, it was brake, throttle, brake, throttle, brake, throttle.
Pete Matson still showing 8th on our timing sheet.
I saw the cars down low and I saw them all come up.
Going all right. He's not going into pit lane at the moment, so it looks like he got away with that pretty scot-free. He did have a little bit of damage, but no doubt we will see how much damage he got when we do go back green flag racing.
What a start, did you see that start? It's nuts! That was right behind you, I saw you go to the outside lane.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm going.
A little bit of a check over on the cars and make sure they're okay for the remainder of the laps to go. Gary Wellman there just getting the lucky dog wave around as we see, so Gary will be getting another lap back.
Yeah, well, they're getting a lap around Sean Hart, Raymond Yeager, Jamie Nankervis.
Who did that take out?
Jared Daly and
I
Scott
don't know,
Rankin
to be honest.
There was about 6 cars, 6 to 8 at least.
So
I think it took out both the classes, I'm not sure though.
Looks like they might go a lap down. But yeah, interesting to see how this is going to play out. What are we now? 63 of 67 as the yellow is still out. So let's just go on board quickly as I go and just pop away and get a little bit of a drink of water. Let's pop on board with Aaron Dillon as we're under yellow, and I'll be back very, very shortly to bring you all the last couple of laps here for round 5 of the Ray White Royal Gander Australasian Supercar E-Series.
Not going to be able to do it this time because I think I'm on the low line.
What lap are you on?
I'm on lap 58.
Yeah, I'm on the low line.
Yeah, I'm on 59 now.
I'm on 58.
Woot woot, here we go again.
There's not many cars left.
No.
Okay, so I'm back in the hot seat, Paul. Thank you for doing that as we watched Aaron Dillon go very pedestrian-like. Look at that for a different angle here on the Indosim Esports network. Just over the right shoulder of Aaron Dillon in the 013 Simboys Racing entry. So we've had Andy Barber jump into the chat. He did say who he thought the top three were going to be, Donnelly, Jaeger and Davidson. Jaeger out of this one, well not out of it, he's still on the lead lap, so he's got his damage done. We'll see whether he can play a factor here in this one as we are about to go green once again here for round 5 of the Ray White Rule Game to Australasian Supercar E-Series. There'll be 3 laps to go when they come across the strike. It will be Aaron Dillon leading us to the green once again. Your reigning champion and current championship leader coming into this round, Justin Witcher, will be the outside of that front row. Troy Davidson and Todd Maxwell will be on the second row. Kate Donnelly, Nigel Payton on the third row. Pete Matson, Raymond Jaeger on the fourth row. Who will it be here? Who will take out round number 5 of the Ray White Rule Game, the Australasian Supercar E-Series? So the pace car will come in. It does that right now. It is in the hands of Troy Davidson. We're waiting to go green, and Troy Davidson hits the hammer, and we're green for hopefully the final time, as I said last time, here for round 5 of the Ray White Rule Game Super E-Series. And Troy Davidson going to be a little bit of a sit and duck here as they come up to speed, as he got the jump on the rest of the field. Not the best ideal thing to do. Really, Aaron Dillon, sorry. Here, as Troy Davidson in the background, they're very close to colours, so my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Paul screams at me as he always does in the background.
3 wide in front of me.
Justin Witcher with a good run around the outside as we see that outside lane work once again.
Ash is a nut.
Goes 3 wide again in the background. It looks like no. Todd Maxfield's just dropped in. Pinnacle Esports around the outside there. Raymond Jaeger is in front of that little train with Nigel Payton around the outside. So we're 3 wide. We're going to crow across the strike, and this time by we're going to be 2 laps to go, and we're 3 wide. It'll be Aaron Dillon leading across the strike by an absolute smidgen this time as we go 2 laps to go. Pete Matson a part of this as well in the Ray White Rule Gander entry. He's looking to make it 4 wide into turns number 1 and 2 this time by, as it still is the Simboys cars holding it nicely on the inside. Just keep an eye on them. Who's going to make the run around the outside down the back straight this time? Todd Maxfield just jumping out in front of Raymond Jaeger. So watch that third line. See whether they can get a run down the back straight one more time. Pete Matson just deciding he's going to jump up into that middle line, as we're going to see those top 2 lines work really well through turns number 3 and 4. Pete Matson dropping straight back down to the inside line. He looks like that's where the job's going to get done from Pete Matson. But we're going to come across the strike this time, and it will be 1 lap to go here for round number 5 of the Ray White Rule Game to Australasian Supercar E-Series. Aaron Dillon will lead the way across the strike. Todd Maxfield getting a good run around the outside. We're going 4 wide as Raymond Yates. Nigel Payton makes it 4 wide into turn number 1, getting a really big push there on the outside. We'll see whether they can get a good run down on the back straight this time around. It is still the Simboys cars 1 and 2 on that line. There was nearly an incident in the background, and we're going 4 wide. Pete Matson pushing hard on the middle line. We've got Todd Maxfield on the outside as well. we're going 3 wide. This is 3 wide the last 3 laps. What do I mean going 3 wide? Nowhere to go for those
All I wanted to do is keep it straight and get across the line.
Trying to make a move there. I'm just watching Pete because he's getting really stuck. He's got nowhere to go, but we're going to come on to the main straight for the last time. Who's going to win this one? There's the incident. Pete Matson gets the run. He gets through it. We've got a Pinnacle Esports car upside down, and your winner's going to be Aaron Dillon over Pete Matson by an absolute tally-o paper, and Troy Davidson comes home in 3rd spot. So, Paul, we're expecting to see that at the end. Cade Donnelly involved in that AuZea E-Sports car there, Brett Campbell involved. We're expecting a little bit of an incident coming onto the main straight, but Cade Donnelly just trying to come across the line there. He does that to come home in P11 to get some championship points. But tell you what, we'll go to the simracermerch.com instant replay, have a look at how that all played out. So keep an eye on Cade Donnelly. He's in behind his teammate there on the inside line. Pete Matson just getting into Todd Maxfield there on the exit. It looks like Justin Witcher getting into the right-hand rear of Cade Donnelly. That's going to be night over for them. Pete Matson just playing a little bit of Dodgem cars there on the middle. Pinnacle Esports car on the inside. Raymond Yeager, I believe that is, or Nigel Payton, one of the two, just getting caught up in that. Nowhere to go. Both Pinnacle Esports cars, all of them involved in that one, rather. As that's big in the background. As we've got cars going everywhere. Todd Maxfield there in the background. And that is one way to finish round number 5 of the Ray White Rule game to Australasian Supercar E-Series. And Aaron Dillon comes away with another win tonight, Paul. Good to see Pete Matson, the naming rights sponsor of the series, come away with a podium finish. And the ever-consistent Simboys Racing cars getting another 1 and 3.
Wasn't it? As I just wanted to cross the line.
Final results here for round number 5 of the Ray White Rule game to Australasian Supercar E-Series. Aaron Dillon taking home the win.
I dropped gears to just to keep it straight.
Raymond Yeager home in 4th, Gary Wellman in 5th, Jared Daly 6th, Jamie Purvis held on to come home in 7th, Todd Maxfield in 8th, Scotty Rankin in 9th, Justin Witcher will round out your 10th.
Across the
Cade
fence, start
Donnelly
finishing
in
mine,
11,
and then blew the
Nigel
motor
Payton
because
in
I was involved in that
12,
wreck again.
Ian Class in 13, Sean Hart in 14, Greg Spencer in 15,
Yeah, that Ash guy's a nut.
in 16,
Yeah.
Ash Nessa in 17, and Brett Campbell